Welcome, beautiful love beings. I'm feeling called to bring some messages through. Very open format. I read very intuitively. And I have 3 different choices here. So, first one is a shell, kind of like an abalone type shell, but smaller. It's actually really pretty. I found this in nature. Super, well, by the beach. Super pretty. And some sage, white sage, number 2. And number 3, this is a shaman's tool from Peru for body work. However, I use it as a crystal in my energy work sessions. I feel like that's not so clear. Yeah, so it holds the energies of that land and definitely the culture, those people. So I use it in that way rather than body work. So these are the choices. I'm gonna leave it for a moment so you can kind of feel into it, and you can take it from there. So you have choice 1, choice 2, choice 3. Okay, we're going to get into it. So I'm going to leave these on the side. 3, 2, and we're going to start with 1. So put that up here. Okay, so I'm feeling this Archeiai Guidance Oracle deck made by Flanagan. I'm going to be listing the decks in the description box. These are all pre-shuffled. I already shuffled all the decks, but I'm just going to do kind of a little shuffle as we go. But they are pre-shuffled. And this is our first message. Spiritual growth. Archeiai Maria. So the Archeiai, just a little side note on the Archeiai, it's a deck of the feminine aspects of the archangels, as we all have feminine and masculine energy in us. So this is just the feminine aspects. It's a beautiful, beautiful deck. Highly recommend. I use it all the time. Okay, so first message. Spiritual growth. Everything you experience in your life is happening for your best and highest good. No experience is wasted, as they are all for your spiritual growth. You came here to learn and grow, and I provide a safe environment to help you cultivate your best self. Archeiai Maria. Okay. Quiet your mind. Silence your mind so you can hear the messages from God and the angels. We are constantly communicating with you, and you can hear us clearly when your mind is silent. Thinking is normal and natural, but when it is all you do, you cannot hear what we have to say. Clarity comes when you can quiet your mind. Archeiai Christophina. Okay, and this here is Archeiai Annunciata. Be authentic. You are a gift to this world. You came here to be your authentic self and to share your gift, the gift of you, with the world. The world is a brighter place with you in it, and your beautiful presence is needed. Go forth in confidence, knowing that Everyone's life you touch is made better because you are in it. Isn't the artwork beautiful? I love it. Okay, we're going to get a couple more. Forgive yourself. Archeiai Magdalena. What a beautiful picture. Forgive yourself. You are doing the best that you can with the knowledge and experience that you have in this moment in time. Your best changes from moment to moment, since you are continually growing and continually learning. There is no need for self-judgment. Forgive yourself for yesterday. Simply learn from it and continue to do your best today. And Archeiai Michaela, hold your faith. God and the angels are always present. You may not see immediate results for your prayers, but God and the angels hear every prayer you make. Hold your faith in God and let go of any fears. Stay grounded in faith and miracles happen. Okay. As I said, these are all shuffled, pre-shuffled. But I'm just going to do a little shuffling before, and we already had a card come out. I'm not quite going to leave this on the side, but this is Grandmother Moon, self-reflection, inner rhythms, intuition. It's going to go there. Now this is the Spirit of the Wheel. I'll list all the decks in the description box below. It's a medicine deck. Okay. Let's see what we have here. So we have Experience the Path of the West. Letting go, movement forward, reflection. Just want to show how beautiful the picture is. Clarity. The Spirit of the East. Spirit Path of the East. Breakthrough, inner vision, truth. I felt called to upright this. Love, Spirit Path of the South. Partnerships, unconditional love, rejuvenation. And Earth Renewal Moon. Greater responsibility, inner knowing, teaching. Just going to take a moment to get the messages for the reading. Wanting to pull a couple more cards. So I guess that one's coming out. All right, next. I'm going to pull some from Louise Hayes. Power thought cards, affirmation cards. Oh, it's too many. Okay, and the reading begins. Sorry, I know as I say that I'm still taking it all in. I just meant as far as cards, we're good with pulling out more cards. Okay, spiritual growth is the central theme of this entire reading. And then everything kind of radiates out from that. So you're on a journey right now, definitely beyond a journey. You're in a segment right now of spiritual growth. And you kind of have this overarching, looming sense of something that you can't let go of, that you can't forgive yourself for. It's actually part of it. It's not really even wrong. It's part of your spiritual growth. The fact that you have that going on right now is part of what's making you grow. You questioning, was it right? Was my action right? Did I do right by myself? And really what this is kind of all about is like, okay, well, let that trickle into the past, like let that ship kind of sail away, and in doing so, you'll kind of let clearer waters come. Just hold your faith. Sorry, so that got cut out. So I'm going to continue. Okay, so where were we? Okay, so I'm kind of going to get back to the central message and kind of branch out. So yeah, you're in a segment of spiritual growth right now, this questioning of something in the past, if you did right by yourself or if you didn't. It's really part of your growth. I mean, it's really all these challenges that make us grow. If you think about a baby that's learning how to walk, it's really hard for them at first. They really struggle. I mean, any skill, if you watch a baby really getting any skill, they really struggle, but the funny thing is you don't really notice the struggle as much as you notice their drive and their enthusiasm and their passion to conquer whatever that may be that they're growing into at that particular time. So I don't know why that just came through, but maybe that's, something that, obviously that's something that you need to hear at this moment, because I believe everything it's all one, it's all part of divine order. if you're following your own intuition, and if your intuition led you to this, and your resonance led you to this reading, I believe that the messages will be pertinent to you. So on with it. I will continue with that. Forgive me, I'm getting over being sick, so I'm not 100% there, but I'm here, and I feel that this is really, I feel very called to bring these messages through. So I'm doing it. We're doing it. We're going. Okay, anyhow. All right, so yeah, so like the baby that's learning how to walk, or whatever they, crawl, or maybe even just climb or stand up, or whatever it may be, there's all that enthusiasm that really trumps the challenge. So all the questioning that you're doing right now of yourself, was it right, was it not, it's part of the challenge to kind of get more strong within yourself, of trusting yourself, because then we also have, which really goes right in alignment with this, kind of underneath it all, it's like this questionable faith, like this questionability that you have within your own self of if you can trust, and essentially trusting source or trusting greater spirit. It's really, to me, one and the same as trusting your own self. I feel that it's kind of that same relationship. Your relationship with yourself is sort of a parallel to your relationship with source, I believe. So it's like this questionability of if you can trust yourself. That's really the growth that you're upon right now, of getting that strength of trusting yourself, getting to the point where you can be solid in this decision making, in your own choices. It's kind of through trial and error anyway that you get to see how you've been growing, if it's been right. So if we could turn these upright, essentially, once you complete this process, and I don't want to say complete it like it's a test or anything like that. I mean more like, once you feel through and get to the other end of where you feel more solid with yourself, naturally you will forgive yourself, because you'll see, it was all part of it. Like, it's not there, it wasn't an accident. It's part of my path. It's part of my journey. And you'll naturally hold your faith, because it's not going to be this like up in the air kind of thing, or kind of like just fluff kind of faith. It's going to be solid, because you will have gone through the trials with yourself of getting it what you thought was wrong, or maybe temporarily it might have been wrong, but until you're getting actually that skill, once you get that skill, you realize it's not wrong, because that's what got you that skill. So yeah, it might seem like a mistake, or the wrong thing, or what have you, but ultimately that's your growth, and that's your path to get that strength. I hope I made that clear. I think I did. And just one second, I'm sorry, I have to close these blinds real quick, because it's that time. Okay. All right. So then something that can really be of assistance to you and an aid in this transformation and growth is to go within and to quiet your mind, to have maybe something that you do, maybe something that you do artistically. And when I say artistic, that can be really, really broad, the range of things that can fall within that, as I like in what I mean with that. It could be even, someone who lays tile for a living. That is a form of art. I mean, if you do it in that way. What I mean with that is anything can be maybe not anything, but many things can be kind of like an artistic outlet. And the reason I'm going to that is because it doesn't, I feel, yeah, sure, this could mean meditation, or I don't mean, but this could point to meditation, but it doesn't have to, because there's lots of things that are, as they would call them, moving meditations, which are basically meditation in action, not just closing your eyes and lying down or sitting upright, legs crossed or whatever. And essentially what meditation is concentration on one thing. It's focus on one thing. So if you're in some sort of artistic flow, that is meditation. If you're really just in that one thing. And when your mind becomes that quiet that it's really only looking at one thing, it's really easy to get more insight and inspired thought come to you, and that's where it can really open up a channel for your spirit guides, your guidance, your own soul, your own higher self, angels, whatever you feel resonant to, that can open that channel to let those communications come through. So that can really be a great tool for you during this process of growing. As you grow, just doing that on the side will really, I don't want to say speed up that process, because it's not really something that needs to be sped up. It's just more something that can really support that process and really make it more full. And I feel like I get the feeling of like blooming. It can really help the flower bloom, so to speak. And then this being reversed, the be authentic, I feel that that's tied into these two that were reversed. Just not really having the trust, and therefore not really being able to forgive yourself because you're doubting, essentially. You're doubting if it was even right. Which really is not letting your authentic spirit, who you are, your essence, it's not letting it really shine through. It's not letting it really like pervade the space, just like permeate the space. It's not letting your authentic spirit come through so much. So once these are upright, I feel that's what helps and allows this to be upright. Once you're not in the whole doubting yourself thing, which is okay. Again, it's part of getting that strength. But once you become solid with yourself, that really it is your path, it is your growth, you can really like let yourself, like you can kind of have this more gel quality, like as you're moving through this plane, and definitely with the support of this, whatever this artistic thing is that's going to support you. I mean, one of the things that came to mind, I don't know if people watching this will necessarily know, everybody, but poi spinning, like fire spinning, like I don't know how to describe that, but it's a form of a flow art. Any of the flow arts. It's funny because at first when you're getting the tricks, it can be kind of mentally like stop and start. But even in that process of learning, it still is very meditative. And then once you get it and can actually flow with it, it's extremely meditative. So yeah, just anything really like that would really, really, really support you being in this, you not doubting, just being more at peace with yourself and at one with yourself as you're in this juncture of growth. So now I want to get to these sideline cards out here, these medicine cards. So let's start with that one. So experience spirit of the West, spirit path of the West. I mean, yeah, that's exactly what it is. You're getting the experience, you're gaining the experience. And the words here are letting go, movement forward, and reflection. I mean, that's exactly what you're doing. You're reflecting, you're seeing, kind of taking inventory, what was right, what was wrong, and really like the next level of that I'm getting from this is, let go of some of the stuff that's ready to be let go of. And by that I mean thoughts that are ready to be let go of. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Basically, the thoughts that are not serving you anymore. Just things that are negative, that you could have better ways of thinking of things, and not as a way of like forcing yourself to think positively, because I don't really necessarily believe in that either. I think authenticity with your own self trumps a lot of things. But yeah, just kind of letting go of the things that are really not like serving you best, which really allows for your movement forward, and then that reflection can be more clear. It can be more kind of consolidated, like playing field. And the West, just the direction of the West, that's the land of the setting sun. It's all about transformation. As the light turns into dark, and kind of, at the time of day, I mean, looking out at the land, everything goes from being light to all these different colors, and then eventually it becomes dark, and it's definitely a symbolism of transformation, and something that it's always represented to me with one of the spirit animals of the West being the jaguar. And it's just always been a representation of, if you think of big cats in general, definitely the jaguar, but just, they have this, and even creatures of the night, but jaguars for sure, they have this like absolute confidence in each step as they're walking through the night. It's like they don't have any disconnection from source whatsoever. There's no element of fear. Like, they're the same, whether it's daytime, nighttime, they are the same. Like, the light or lack thereof does not affect them at all. And that's like a big, like, guiding light, I feel, of the West. Just to have that inner connection with yourself, which is essentially what you're working on, essentially what you're doing, what you're working towards. Just having that solidity within yourself. So it's all going together. That essentially will bring you to the clarity. It will bring you to the breakthrough, the inner vision, the truth, the inner truth, your own truth. Which, interesting that this came out reversed, but I felt called to pull it out upright. It just didn't feel right reversed. And this is Love, Spirit Path of the South. Now the South is midday, so it's the heat, it's the snake spirit animal. When I say that, it's like vitality, kundalini rising, like that heat, the hot part of the day where the sun is at its hottest. It's like ultimate vitality and life force. So it's like, this is really a journey. It's bringing you, from letting go of the doubts, having the support of something that's going to get you more in tune with your spirit than your thinking mind, which will allow your spirit to actually express through this path of just gaining the experience. It's bringing you the transformation, bringing you the clarity, essentially. oneness with yourself, oneness with your own truth, which in turn brings you to that life force, that oneness with yourself. And the Kokopelli in the center here is calling my attention right now, and he's a music man. There's lots told about the Kokopelli. But what it's speaking to me right now in this moment of is kind of being in your own, you're coming from your truth, and it's basically being able to be in your power, in your own voice, your own song, which automatically brings you into the vibration of love with your own self. So naturally, it's going to be easy to fall in love with somebody because you're in love with yourself. You're really, really loving yourself fully. Partnerships, kind of easy peasy if that's what you want. If it's very playful. Once you're in your own energy, you're in your own playfulness anyway. Unconditional love is there because you've already found it in yourself. You have it solid in yourself. And rejuvenation to do anything, essentially, with this vitality, this life force, reinstated from coming to solid oneness with yourself, not like this flaky, I'm still questioning myself, I'm not really sure where I'm at, it's, yeah, we could do that, sure, okay, and that's part of it, and nothing's wrong with it. It's like, it's all on point, it's all part of it, it's really all part of the path. Which then brings us to Earth Renewal Moon. Greater responsibility, inner knowing, and teaching. It's so on point that this is the last card in this little path that we're walking through the messages of this. Because, yeah, it's a journey. This is having that unconditional, amazing, perfect love with yourself, and vitality and kundalini awakened as a result. And when I say kundalini, I mean life force. You then step into your greater responsibility. You have your inner knowing that you're to share with the world. And by that, you'll be teaching. You'll be teaching your own brand of divine wisdom. We each have our own aspect of divine light. We each are an aspect of divine light. And we each have a different piece of the whole to bring to the collective. We're all of value. So this is basically getting back into the center of that and bringing what it is that your soul uniquely brings here. And teaching your light. So it's just kind of like a sideline note. The grandmother moon, self-reflection, inner rhythms, intuition. So tapping into the moon, the rhythm of the moon, and your inner knowing, and your intuition, like that will let you really continue to ride your own energy, essentially. You can, if you feel like a moment of not 100%, just kind of take a step back for a second, maybe tune into the moon. I feel like that will really help you. Just tuning back into the rhythms of the moon will tune back into the rhythms of your own self, your own inner. What else we've got? Okay, and I want to go to these now. I am at peace. Divine peace and harmony surround me and dwell in me. I feel tolerance, compassion, and love for all people, myself included. Yeah. So it's a matter of really being one with that, being one with yourself. I now go beyond other people's fears and limitations. I don't know if you could see that. It is my mind It is my mind that creates my experiences. I am unlimited in my own ability to create the good in my life. So it's really like once you're in your peace, you can step into your power as a creator. As I say yes to life, life says yes to me. Life mirrors my every thought. My every thought. As I keep my thoughts positive, life brings to me only good experiences. And again, this can really only come from this journey, from this spiritual growth. So everything that you're going through is for a reason, for a purpose, to ultimately have an outcome that you're reaching for as a soul, as a being, a solidity that you're going for. And it's kind of like when you're like going for any skill, you can't get the skill without doing the exercise that gets you there. Whether it's a muscle, like actually contracting the muscle to get that muscle, any muscle that's not used essentially goes to atrophy and, isn't really a muscle anymore or a strength. So yeah, in order to have this, maybe you've done it before, maybe you're just flexing that muscle and getting solid again with yourself. So yeah, so these now over here. Yeah, so the themes are essentially sinking back into your own heart. Yeah, one is all about being one with your own self, which is also a parallel to being one with Source. And I read these differently. I don't always read them. I don't always read anything in any specific supposed way. I really read very intuitively, as I said. So it's kind of like as things come to me, I take them like that. And what I'm getting from this right now is really just a matter of just being in the center of your own heart, and not really looking outside for confirmation, but actually walking your own path and really being very okay with that, being very solid within of your own path, and some supports with that. Bringing more love to the material realm, and finding rain in that, finding rain in holding love as you're walking through the material realm, the physical, which is what we're all here doing, but it's really kind of a check back with our inner self of how, if we're able to do that the way that we're intending to from the inside. So, it's just a little play with ourselves, essentially, that we can engage within to just operate here as we desire to. So that's it. That's your reading. I'm going to do some crystals, oracle, so I'm going to just kind of shake these up, and the ones that fall out will give us a message. Oh, we already got one. So divine unconditional love. Okay, and we got two more. I feel like one more fell out. Okay, so we got, all right, lots and lots and lots of sinking into your unique, amazing core that is you. You are such a bright star being. Oh my goodness. You have so much to offer the world. You have so much spark in you. Oh my gosh. And it's like, you're such a sweet, sweet, sweet unconditional love being. And you might even seem hard on the exterior sometimes, but you're actually like such a sweet softie. Like, I guess that can be true for so many people. But anyway, this is what's coming through right now, through these stones, through these crystals. It's funny because this is like a stone on one side, and then it's a seashell on the other. It's like so sweet. So it's like you have very solid ground energy on the outside, but then on the inner, you're just very in tune with your own intuition and flowing, and that's so funny. That actually goes right along with the message of, you know, being very solid within yourself and not really needing any outside confirmation, really having the inner be your guide and be your compass, and that being okay, and it not being like feeling bad about it or being kind of in any way like brash about it. It's just more just feeling good and feeling very, very like, what's the word? There's a word, like contained within yourself in a very balanced way. So those are the messages that I'm seeing for choice number 1. It was an interesting journey. I hope you loved it. It was fun for me too. I'm so intrigued to hear how this related to you. If you so feel called to share, it would be super fun to hear why this was resonant for you, as we're all going through such different things. If not, I get it. I don't always like to put myself out there, but just if you feel like you really want to, it would be super fun to read. I always love connecting like that. Like with readings, like kind of getting the feedback from people when I give readings of like why it related to them and what it means to them, because I only get to see on this side from the cards. I don't really know, you know, anybody's life and what they're going through and why it relates, but it's just what I see, or what I get, like the vibes that I get from the cards and just in general that are coming. So yeah, so enjoy. If you liked it, if you loved it, like, subscribe, you know, leave your comments if you feel called, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. And I will be having private readings also available on my website. The information will be down below in the comments, or in the description box. So yeah, so thank you. It is my joy and honor to deliver messages always, and until the next. Okay, I'm gonna put these aside. So now, group number, choice number 2, the sage. Where is it? Right there. The white sage. Okay. Oh. Bring these cards back. Okay. I'm just going to shuffle these out as I go, since I used some of them. If it's a deck that I haven't used, then I will do minimal shuffling and not as thorough. Kind of feel called to just shuffle these in right now, just for the sake of having them shuffled. Okay. All right. Feel called to start with these. Okay, I guess we're gonna have these come out to be used. I feel that one. And this one. Okay. That's just coming right out. This here is the Medicine Woman Tarot. These were already shuffled before I started the video. Okay. Quite different from choice one already. It's definitely very different vibes so far. Okay, this is the Chrysalis Tarot. I love this deck. And as I said, it was already pre-shuffled. I'm just gonna shuffle a bit anyway. Okay. Ooh la la. Let me get this over here. Feeling a couple more of these. Okay. What else are we feeling? What else? We're gonna get a couple more of these. Okay. All right, and this is your spread. What a beautiful spread. Wow, it's just so colorful. It's so pretty. Let's see what's going on, choice two. I'm gonna check into what I'm getting from these cards. If you want to skip to when the reading starts, I'll put that in the not comments, in the description box as well, next to the time. I'm just gonna take it all in. Okay, so what I'm getting from this is you're not really quite sure how to express yourself in the world right now. You have lots of enthusiasm, energy that's waiting to spill out to the world, and you're not really quite sure which approach to take. It feels very like kind of like the yin and the yang. Like it feels like so much brightness and white that's like just waiting to spill out, and then the black side where it's like just like confusion of and just the darkness of not really knowing how to do that, how to spread out into the world with this energy of enthusiasm and just like this really glowy kind of light that you have. It's like so sparkling and so fun and so like just itching to get out, and yet you don't have any movement because you don't know like which approach to take. So now these Archeiai are gonna give us more reflection of how to go about this. So at your right you are free. This is Archeiai Sophia. She's the Archeiai of wisdom, I believe. When you are clear on who you are and know yourself completely, you are free from limiting beliefs and opinions of others. With this freedom, you are able to see all sides of a situation without judgment, because it does not have any bearing on your truth. This liberation allows you to have compassion and understanding for yourself and others. On your left, you have, I am the angel of radiance. This is Archeiai Marilissa. Isn't this beautiful? Okay, call on me to help you see the light in everything. I will help you peel away the layers of shame, guilt, and judgment to get to the beauty of your being. Search within yourself and every person you meet to see the light within. Look at everyone and everything with the eyes of God. Overarching, you have Annunciata, Archeiai Annunciata, the angel of hope. Call on me to help you speak your truth and deliver your important message to the world. I am here to lift you up and give voice to your hopes and dreams. Haha. I guess that's for you, choice 2, because I wasn't sure why I was putting that here. This hopes and dreams. But I felt very called to do so I just did it. So I guess this is for you. How funny. Okay, so I am here to lift you up and give voice to your hopes and dreams. I give rise to your confidence in yourself and your desires so that you may share your gifts with the world. That's so sweet. I love that. Okay, and your grounding, which is reversed right now, we're going to turn it upright. It is Archeiai Sophia. Okay, so the angel of truth. I was thinking it was wisdom. I knew it was something along those lines. Okay, so call on me to see all sides of any situation. The truth for you is not always the same truth for everyone else. Everyone has their own truth based on their own life circumstances. I am here to help you seek your truth. It is safe to be honest with yourself. Knowing who you truly are will set you free. Okay, so you're not quite connecting with your truth, and that's why this isn't upright. And it is my feeling and sense that this is the reason why you're not actually free, because you're really appeasing other people. You're caring too much about the opinions of others. You're not free. I mean, I know this is upright, so essentially that would mean that you are, but I feel that the reason that this is not upright is because of not really being free of the opinions of others. I feel that if you were in your truth, well, let me say that again. I feel that if you were not caring about the opinions of others, it would be just very easy to be in your truth and to let the light that is you just be as is. No inhibiting it and censoring it to kind of make sure it's okay with the rest of the world. So this is basically, to me, what's keeping you confused on how to bring your light out is because you have this like trip up between just expressing and like there's this space between you expressing freely and how it's received. So it's kind of like in that space you then kind of like don't let it, like there's this maybe not space but kind of like a block of sorts. And by block I just mean like something that's barring it. It's not letting it just come through. It's basically something that's halting it in the meantime before it comes out. This is calling my attention. We have the Apprentice of Bowls. So in this picture, he's bringing from what's in his cup to the world. And that's essentially what connects him to the higher as well. It's all one. So when you bring your bowl, your waters, what's in your cup, when you bring, well, even more than cup, I want to say bowl, which is to me more of a symbol of what's in your emotional well. When you bring that to the world, you really plug into the collective in a very meaningful way, because you're allowing yourself to be yourself. So this is kind of going to be your liberation for this, turning this upright. Allowing yourself to have the emotions that you do will plug you into the collective. Well, when I say plug you into the collective, it will, in your mind, kind of liberate you, really like free you from caring too much about how you're received, and it'll kind of liberate that area, because you're going to see that essentially we're all going through the same things in different ways, but what ties us together in this human experience is the fact that we all go through the same emotions, albeit for different reasons, but we go through very much the same inner challenges. Again, albeit we might express in different ways, and that may come out as different kinds of actions for sure with different people. But the inner crossroads that we get to are not so unique to us individually. That's kind of what's more universal all across the board. And what really unites the collective, that we're all equal on some, there is some place where we're all on the same playing field in terms of that we're all just energy, and we're all approaching things innocently as we approach them for the first time, like not really knowing what they fully are. Totem of stones, snake, the crawlers. Yeah, so it's like really, really sinking our roots into the earth, which unites us with everything. Making our mistakes here, doing our great works here, planting our seeds, watering them with our bowl, letting these emotions out will be the water for the seeds that we are planting. I don't know why that's coming through. That's very random. I don't even feel like I'm saying that, but I feel like that needs to come through. I need to grab water. Super parched. Okay. Pardon me. Okay, so 9 of Pipes. Look at what a victory card that is. My goodness. It really, really is. And to me, this one's connecting with like this message of hopes and dreams, just, oh, how funny. I didn't realize that it's right there. That's awesome. So it's basically kind of like, let yourself have that. Let yourself really have that allowance to share yourself with the world, your emotions, your natural just being, and without making it wrong, and letting that be nourishment for the world. If you think about it, I don't know a nice way to say this. Basically, like what ends up nourishing the world, the actual earth, is what comes out of animals. Like it's not the best of things that ends up nourishing the earth. Like if you think of fertilizer for plants and the earth, it's literally their excrement. It's literally what they don't need. It's literally their, I don't know what to call it, like junk, essentially, of like what comes out of their being, what they don't need. So what you might think is your trash, as far as like your emotions that, oh, who wants to hear that, and who wants to, like, how is this nourishing the world? I only want to put out positive, and that's a really beautiful thing. However, what really makes things grow in the earth, which that's the plane that we're on, the physical realm that we're in, it's the stuff. It's basically the shit. It's like not always in a bad way. It's just basically like what comes out of us. And we can't always like be so meticulously controlling what comes out of us, because realistically, that's not how it goes. That's not how it works. Like our bodies don't work that way. We don't like meticulously only release from our bodies the best of what we would hope to let back into the earth. No, we actually let out what we don't need. We let out what we don't, what isn't serving our body anymore. And that's what nourishes the earth. So take that on a metaphysical realm, and, letting your things that you're going through that you think aren't so pretty or aren't so acceptable or aren't so okay, they do nourish the world. Everybody that you look at going through things that you judge, you learn from them. You do. I mean, you end up learning on their flesh. That's just and that's why there's this whole truth to, basically it being okay to throw critics aside, in the sense of, you don't always know ahead of time how to do it or what the right answer is. And nobody necessarily does. Sometimes we do, but sometimes we don't. And sometimes you do just have to go for it and make the mistakes and fuck up, just whatever it may be, just to get, maybe not even for yourself, but to teach the collective, which then goes again back to this one of that what's in your bowl, when you give it to the earth, that goes back to the collective, the all. It really does serve everybody. And so that's kind of your victory. Once you understand that can really, really, really be your victory. That what you have to give is nourishment for the world, even when you think that it's not. It is nourishment for the world. And then you can really be in your glory of just being, of the glory of your being. Let me say that again, the glory of your being, just being, not fixing it up perfectly, just being. Having that be glorious. That it's serving the world meaningfully. Yeah, and this is just an extension of that. It's all the things that you're making to give the world. It's basically that it's the completion. It's the completion of this whole journey, in the sense that finally you're actually making things for the world. You're bringing things to the world. Whereas we started the journey with this very I want to bring things to the world, but I don't really know what to bring, and I don't know, it's I have all this amazingness, but I'm not really quite sure in what way to bring that through. Well, just bringing what you have to bring and not judging it so much, and letting what you bring be okay and enough, and letting your truth be of value in your own eyes, really lets it be of value to everybody in some way or another, whether they're learning from it of how to improve, or whether they're learning from it in what they would like to emulate. We're always learning from one another. And so staying out of the game is kind of it's sort of robbing the rest of the world of learning from you as well. I mean, I don't want to put it necessarily in a negative sense of robbing, but I just mean it's not really, you're not playing with the rest of the world on the playing field. You're just kind of pulling yourself out and not really allowing yourself to exist as you are. It's just too much judgment of if it's perfect, if it's perfect. And so I'm going to read this again. Call on me to help you speak your truth and deliver your important message to the world. I am here to lift you up and give voice to your hopes and dreams. I give rise to your confidence in yourself and your desires so that you may share your gifts with the world. So yeah, let yourself be on that journey. And this one, he's kind of locked out. And he's like not quite sure if he's enough, if he's worthy to knock on those doors, to open those doors, to enter those doors. I'm not saying that that's what this card is all about. I'm saying that that's what's the vibe that's coming through to me from this card right now. But if you know that you're what you have just inherently as you, who you are, and just the being, the essence, the energy that you are is of value, that can be turned upright, and whatever you have to bring, half goat and all, you know, it's like the more primal part of us, the unrefined part of us. It's worthy just the same. Lions are all about courage. You know, so it's kind of like, don't enter here. You can't enter here until you have courage. Which brings us to the Phoenix being reversed. I mean, once we really have that courage, that will be our Phoenix rising. That will be our transformation. That will be our rise from the ashes. Which is really going to let us be very flexible and creative and expressive in the world. And we might not even know what we want to express. And that's and then that won't even be a problem. It's like at the beginning it's a problem, and it's only a problem because we're actually not letting ourselves just be and just express as we are. But once we do that, then really anything that comes through is just perfectly fine, and it's really not a problem. So not knowing what to express is not even a problem anymore. And there's the dragonfly for transformation. I mean, amongst other things, but they're a big symbol of change. And another thing that I feel very, very important to point out right now is part of the dragonfly's symbolism is that they only get their color in time. Their beautiful, beautiful colors only come in time. So allow yourself to go through this blooming, this blossoming, and then your colors will come through. How funny, and flower for the bloom. It lets you really be in this place of creation from the center. That it doesn't matter what it is that you're expressing. It just matters that you're expressing. It just matters that you're being authentic and that you're being you. And that your heart is okay as it is. It's perfectly right just as it is. And all the creation that comes to every direction out of that center will be perfectly fine to unroll, to unravel, to roll out to the world. That was first, yeah? Yeah, I'm very much drawn to this symbol down here of this dragon snake eating its tail infinitely. It's like that could go on forever and ever and ever, wearing a mask, you know, and just being someone that you're really not, and it's just no way to happiness. So we can turn that upright once we get the clarity of this whole journey. Okay, let's see these over here. So these are all what are going to help bring to the next level. Okay, so allowing yourself to have the changes of heart and the changes in your heart, you know, just allowing yourself to have the moods that you do and the feelings that you do will really support you on this, in this process. Just feeling into this card, this. So yeah, just getting really, I feel from this, like, clear cut, like getting very clear cut about things, when you have two options, to just be decisive rather than like, you know, having all this wonder in the meantime. Just like allowing yourself to actually have a decision is also really going to support you. Creating a foundation of truth, which is going to lead to your abundance in the physical. So lots and lots of abundance at your fingertips as a result of creating a foundation of truth by letting yourself be decisive when you have this kind of split. It's like allowing yourself to really choose instead of having this hang up on being split. And part of that comes from letting yourself feel what you feel, like it being okay that you feel what you feel. So that's what I've got for you, choice number 2. And I'm going to pull some crystals for some added messages. These are different crystals that I've got, so I'm just going to let some fall out as I shake them. Kind of bring some messages from that. Okay, so oh, I like that fell there. It's about supercharging your hopes and dreams, which is really about strengthening your core, getting into your core, and coming back to the warrior that you are. It's okay to be you. It's really okay to be you. You're so much love, so much light, I mean, yes, you're love, but the word that was coming through is more light. You're so much light. And yeah, just really listen to those inner rhythms, those inner flows. Get really solid with yourself on what you know that you stand for. You know that you stand for certain, like, some things, and that's not, you have clarity about that. And you need to make it okay that you stand for those things. It's part of your value in the world. It's not about being right or being wrong. It's about representing your value. And that's really how you're going to bring the peace that you have to offer to the world. And whether it's mixed emotions or whatever it may be, it's all light. You might think it's not, but it's all light. It's serving people so powerfully, so meaningfully. And yeah, that just reminded me, a couple parts in this reminded me of choice 1. So if when you were picking that also felt resonant, maybe you'd want to listen to that. I don't know. Kind of feel into your own intuition. I always feel that following your own intuition is really the best way to get an accurate reading, because if you're not following your intuition, just from my own experience, it's not as resonant and it's not as on point, because anyway, like, there were parts of you that were like, no, I'm not into that, or whatever it may be. But I feel that your own guidance system is really a powerful way to get it to be accurate, what comes back to you. And yeah, you really have hidden gems within you. You do. You have hidden gems within you that are just inside the earth right now, and they're waiting to be unearthed. And part of that unearthing is dirt's going to come up. It's not going to be just crystal and just gem. It's going to be some dirt that's coming up as well. And that's okay, because that's what you need to do in order to get to your crystal. It's like excavating, but a lot's going to come out at the same time. Some of the dirt, and then there'll be gems in there too. So it kind of all needs to come up if you're going to get the gems out. You can't really, like, surgically grab the gems from the earth. You that would be, like, incredibly challenging to pinpoint. But anyhow, that's not even the point. And that's just not how that's the messages that are coming through, is the gems are gonna come up and come through by getting a lot to come up, pulling a lot up, but not pulling anything up staying very solid to what your values are. Like, always staying within your values and within your core. And because you're centered in your core, knowing that what you have to bring up, the good, the bad, and the ugly, like, it's all good. It's all of value. So yeah, so that's reading number 2. That's what we got. So if you felt that this really spoke to your situation, which I feel like if you followed your intuition to get here, then I don't know, just from my experience, it does. So, and if it didn't, then, you just follow your own guidance. If it doesn't ring true to you in any way, then it's obviously not your reading, and always follow you. But yeah. Let me know if there's, anything that feels fun to share as far as why this was resonant for you and what this means to you, and kind of if that feels good to you. Leave it in the comments. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you want to keep seeing new things that I do, new videos that I post. I'm going to move on to group 3, And have an awesome day. Thank you for being you, and just bring all of you to the world. We need to see more of you. You're a diamond in the rough. I'm gonna leave it with that. So another thing I want to mention, you can look in the description box for my website and kind of check some other things I've got up there. I do distance healing, remote healing sessions. I am an energy worker. And I do readings. If you want to get your own reading, a personal reading. You know, I do feel like these end up being like personal readings, but it's always kind of different when it's really, really a personal reading. You know, it's just a little bit different to get messages in that way. So if that feels like something that's calling to you, please, I would love it. Feels awesome. All right, so now we're going to go to reading number 3. Welcome, number 3, people. So, this has been a long video so far. And as it is, I have not been full of energy from just getting through being sick. But I definitely feel called to continue this, and I felt called to do this, and I'm excited to see what is yet to come through. So, don't mind my low energy. I hope it's not I don't even have words for that. But anyhow, I hope that you can bear with me with my low energy, but I think the messages remain the same regardless, whether it's a speedy reading or a longer, lengthier reading. It all comes through one way or another. So I'm feeling called to start with these. And I did already use these in the previous 2 readings, so I'm shuffling them again. And this, let's see. Ooh. It's kind of a lot that popped out. I'm not really sure I want to use all these. Let's go with it. Let's go. Okay. So we have those. That's interesting. We got this in that position for reading number 1. I'm going to go with these. I did already use these, so I'm going to shuffle them again. So while I'm shuffling, I'll just say that I do have the time that the reading will begin in the description box. If you want to just fast forward, that's fine, because I'm going to shuffle these as I go. and kind of take in the energies of the cards before I read them. These are Don Miguel Ruiz's 4 Agreements cards. So I'm going to be shuffling these. Uh-oh. Don't know if I want to use that. These are the Shaman's Oracle. I did shuffle these before I started the video. I haven't used these yet, but I do feel called to use them. Okay, this is quite a different reading, it seems, from the previous 2 so far. All right. Oof. Okay. Let's do it. Grab a couple of these from the Spirit of the Wheel medicine deck. That's funny. That was in one of the other readings. Oh, wow. And so was that. Interesting. Okay, let's do it. All right. Okay, so right away I'm getting Group 3, you have a lot of wisdom to bring to the world. And it's going to take you allowing the destruction of something in order for that wisdom to be able to come through more seamlessly. You have this dancer of fear, and I feel it speaks to facing your fears. Facing your fears, which is going to allow that destruction. And essentially what that is destruction of what's not really serving your highest, which is in turn not serving the highest of all. Shekinah. I am the angel of patience. Call on me for guidance on your spiritual journey. I walk with you and hold space for this journey of yours. I watch over you as you grow and develop into the person you came here to be. I support you and provide the safe environment for you to explore this world. So I'm feeling a lot of scared to come out in who you are vibes from this. And that could mean so many different things. But essentially it's really, regardless of how it expresses, it's really the same thing in essence, what it actually is. I want to see this as well. So quiet your mind, silence your mind so you can hear the messages from God and the angels. We are constantly communicating with you, and you can hear us clearly when your mind is silent. Thinking is normal and natural, but when it is all you do, you cannot hear what we have to say. Clarity comes when you can quiet your mind. Archeiai Christophina. Okay, so yeah, I feel like a lot of this is just a matter of facing your fears. Just going to allow the destruction. In that process, it's really going to serve you to just quiet your mind and just go. Just do it. Because all of the thoughts that are going to come up are just going to keep paralyzing you and not allowing you to move. You need to just take the movement that you know you need to take, whatever that may be, because there's something about facing your fears, and I don't know what exactly that is to you, but it's basically gonna lead to the destruction of something that has really been weighing you down and not serving you. You really have a lot of soul help trying to get you to listen to your own inner voice and your own guidance. And I shouldn't even say get you to listen. You do hear it. You really do hear it. You hear it pretty clearly. There's a call of life work, like soul mission, that is calling to you. You have this inner knowing, and it's taking you basically being balanced on the, I'm hearing balanced on the sword, even though this is an arrow, but it's being balanced on the, not even attack. It's not the word attack. It's balanced on kind of the movements that you need to make. And letting those voices of wisdom and of knowing, letting those voices be in your ears and guide you as you're balancing, as you're walking through your fears. Quieting your mind, letting those voices that are your guidance and your spirit help, essentially. Spirit guides, your wisdom, your own inner knowing, letting that support you. And some of that means going it alone for a bit. Going it alone and not being scared. And when I say not being scared, I mean not being scared of your own thoughts. Like not thinking that your own negative thoughts have to be a thing. They don't have to be a thing. Basically, if you don't give energy and power to those negative thoughts, you'll be able to continue walking this path that you need to walk. There's going to be abundance that comes. There's going to be abundance that comes. There's going to be even help as you're getting to this abundance. There's going to be confirmation once you're on the other end of it. You're going to have a lot to offer up to the world. A lot. Really, your soul's offering. But you need to walk this walk. You need to walk this path. It's going to take discernment. It's going to take discernment and adhering to what you know is right for you and what you sense is not. And not thinking too much, but just going with your knowing, with your intuitive guidance. And that's going to lead you to your victory. It's going to lead you to the return of your persevering spirit. That really triumphs into victory. From all of your challenges. And is better for it, is stronger for it, is more capable for it, has more stamina for it. Really has so much, there's just so much to go. And has a new sense of balance as a result. A stability that's next level to initial stability. There's like the initial kinds of stability when we're just learning it, and then there's once we already have learned it and we're pretty solid with it and we know it. It's a new sense of stability. Looking up at the moon will ground you and remind you of your journey, where you're at in your journey. It will remind you the journey that you're walking. As you look up, it will remind you what you're doing and the inner knowing that you have walked because of, and that you continue to walk in union with. And all the fruits of that labor come along the path, not only at the end, but along the path. They're coming, they've already come. And they'll continue to come. And you'll continue to walk. Which brings you to your freedom. Wow, you really, really, really have created and earned your freedom. Trusting yourself. Yep. Trusting that inner voice. It leads you. It guides you home. Guides you to the home of your own freedom. lets you be in your higher responsibility in this world. Lets you be in your mission. Lets you really walk your mission because of walking with your inner knowing. And that becomes your teaching. Always do your best, but don't overdo. When you overdo, you deplete your body and go against yourself, and it will take you longer to accomplish your goal. Don't overdo. Yeah, it's like that path really is a path of not overdoing, because it's really just listening to your inner. That's it. That's all it is. Just listening. And so your inner does not guide you to overdo. It really guides you to be perfectly in balance. Well, that might have sounded like the word imbalance. Perfectly in balance. Perfectly in a state of balance. Be impeccable with your word. Replace fear with love. So this really speaks so much of these thoughts that are creating just noise in your head as you're about to face your fear. Replace fear with love. So it's like all these thoughts that are just noise because they're doubt thoughts, they're fear thoughts. If you can replace them with love, it's going to make your path a smoother path, an easier path, an easier journey. And that allows you to become a white magician. All the magic you possess is based on your word, and you cast spells all the time with your opinions. You can either put a spell on someone with your word, or you can release someone from a spell. You can really speak so much positivity into the world with your word, with replacing the negativity with positivity, or the fear with love. And it'll make your path so much smoother as you walk the path that you are guided to walk. This is Archeiai Maria. Last but not least. She is the angel of virtue. Call on me for optimal health and healing of your mind, body, and spirit. I facilitate your growth physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Just as a seed grows from the soil, I am the foundation that provides the love and nurturing you need to blossom into the person you came here to be. So really, once you get to a point of listening and not overdoing, and really allowing yourself to heal, allowing your mind, your body, and your spirit to heal, that's when you can really offer what you have come to offer to the world. But not before. It's all one journey. So I hope this was clear. This one came through the clearest of all, I have to say. Not sure if it was me or it. I'm gonna pull some crystals for some more messages. So, Okay, so while everything falls away, letting yourself really have strong adherence to higher love. Strong adherence to higher love. That's really, really going to support you. As you ground into your path that you're walking, remembering past times that you have gotten to a success in your path. And what did it take you in order to get there? Those things can really empower you in the walking of this and towards your success in this path. It's really going to take a lot of inner vision. It really is. And when I say inner vision, I mean holding to the vision that you have on the inner. That's why you're walking. The knowing that led you in the first place. The whispers from spirit that led you in the first place. The wisdom that's in your bones that led you to embark on this journey in the first place. You have so much specialness to share with the world. You really do. You really, really do. And you have a lot of love. A lot of heart love to bring to the world. Sweet heart love. And a beautiful balance too. A balance of the right measure of solidity on the exterior, and softness and flow on the inner. And at essence, that's actually what our design is. Masculine energy, well, we call it masculine energy, which is more external, more outer and protective. And then feminine energy, which is more inner and softer. And you really get to this balance really, really beautifully. And it's funny because I didn't actually pull this card up. I incorporated it right off the bat with balance, but this is now calling me again with the crystal message. This is basically speaking to the balance that you inherently know. You inherently have in your spirit, in your soul. You have this beautiful, beautiful balance. And in this facing of your fears and allowing what doesn't serve you to just destruct as it will, and not being scared and not letting all of your bad thoughts, not falling into believing all of them, and keeping focus on what you know, the vision that is guiding you from the inner, the reason you even started any of this, to bring your wisdom to the world. Get your freedom as a result, and on the way, your healing from not overdoing. You get to walk your mission. I mean, it's all one. And you get to really embody what you came here to be, what you came here to do, and really offer up your abundance of what you're serving up to the world. And you get your persevering spirit back, your union with self. So this was a very long one, but well, not this particular reading, but this video, and this last reading was so awesome and fun. I mean, they all were awesome in their own different ways, but this one was really, really deep, really quick compared to the others. At least this might have still been slow to you because I'm like running in slow mode right now from just getting over being sick. But yeah, this was really, really an honor to read for you. I would always enjoy reading personally for anybody who feels called. It's something that's fun for me. So any interest in that, you can find more information on my website that's listed in the description box. And yeah, this has been a really cool reading. I really love this one. If you want to speak to it at all, of how it spoke to you, you can leave that in the comments down below, and I will read it, and it'll be fun to see what this was for you, if you even feel like you want to share that. If you're new to the channel and you want to keep seeing more videos from me, press subscribe and the little notification so you know when I do a new video. Yeah, and if you loved it, hit the like, and I appreciate you being here and letting me share my messages with you through this channel. Alright, have a beautiful, amazing journey. I just feel like I want to send you off with so much love for this. You have all of the help and guidance and inner solidity that you need. You just need to allow yourself to really allow that part of yourself, because it is so powerful for you. It is so strong. It can carry you through anything. Truly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's my honor and gratitude to read for you. Thank you. Have a beautiful, beautiful, amazing, blessed day.